Hello and welcome to this highly educational Warno 3v3 game between 6 of the smartest minds I've ever seen. I'm going to show you the decks and you'll be blown away by their intelligence. Right, so deck reviews. This is a 3v3. I get the impression it was a pub 3v3 as opposed to like a team thing, so I'm not going to go through every single division because we'll be here all day. In terms of the NATO ones, so Mbad 5e, 2nd Panzergren, it can work if the 2nd Panzergren player brings 2 cards of Eyehawks to cover his teammates. Yeah, and then, so if you're Mbad in this situation, you don't really want to be too vet and everything, because team games, especially pub ones, basically always take 40 minutes, or whatever they've set the time limit to. Sometimes they set it to an hour. Because your teammates aren't going to synchronize with you and push and stuff like that. It's just going to be lane brain. It's always going to take ages. So 2-vet and everything's really dumb. The guy who sent me the replay said, forgive me for 2-vet and everything. So it's like, well, why'd you do it then if you knew it was wrong? Duh. Anyway, so yeah, like, you know, you're expecting what exactly? Nice short game, and you've not got you've only got 1 card of ATGMs. Like, that's why aren't you bringing this? This is a really good card. Forward deployed Milan with a Milan truck with a 50 cal on it. If you know it's wrong, why are you doing it? Is that not an obvious statement? So yeah, there's a limit to what, you know, how much you can sort of drive the point home. I get a lot of games sent to me like that, where they're like, well, sorry I did this. Why'd you do it then, you fucking retard? Easier to ask for permission than, sorry, for forgiveness than permission, right? So you want some forward deployed MG teams. They're all the same, so you can bring whichever one you want. The Rover goes 90, 100. This goes 90, 100, and this goes 90, 100, so it's really just a flavour thing. Uh, so I personally would bring the British one, right? And yeah, like, so what's the point in this squad? Like, this isn't the one with the AT, so it's 60 points for 8 guys and a worse AT. They changed all the colours, so 18's blue now. It's really dumb. We keep pointing this out to them, and they just don't give a shit, basically. There's a lot of things in the game like that, where if they played it a lot, they would care, but, you know, it's a job, right? They've got other things to think about, like what DLC to make next. So things like this that really do matter, they just see it as a minor problem and they don't fix it. So basically the way it works is it's generated, the colours are generated automatically off a table of values. So when they added the Erics, they all changed. And now they're adding something at the bottom and they're all changing again. So all they would have to do is make a fake entry for something with like 30 pen or whatever, and a fake entry for something with like 5 pen or whatever. That wouldn't be used in the actual game, but they're just fake entries, and that would fix the damage table colours and they'd always be the same. But why do that? Why do that when you can just change it constantly and just don't care about your user experience? I've already bought the game. They've already got me. So I don't really like the Paragon group at all, but you know, it's sort of your cheapest infantry in a way, but like if you need a static force, that should really be the MG. And then, yeah, the Gurkha rifles, like 1 in a Hilo, 1 in a Bedford's probably, at least in 1v1, that's how you do it. Bringing satchels can work, and the question is, do you want to pay same price for 1 more guy? Sure, but the machine guns on the right, the guns on the right are way better. The assault rifle beats the battle rifle in this game. It just does, because they both fire the same distance, and you fire on the moves better, and the whole point is you're firing on the move. And 2 machine guns beats 1 machine gun. I appreciate that having 1 more guy does help, but the machine guns can fire on the move on the right, whereas they can't on the left, and you're supposed to be running up to somebody to throw a satchel at him. Also, the LSWs can fire when they're in the same building, and the MG3 can't as your opponent. So this is the right pick. Just trying to fit in this Milan 1, which you desperately need. At least in 1v1 it would be a good idea. Probably get rid of one of these. I don't really see the point in that. unit. On Div, the one that gets the Blindercide on Div mob makes sense because it comes in the transport with the ATGM. But yeah, if you're fighting in a town and stuff, you probably want some Mariners for the triple machine gun for 45 points, right? It's like, oh, this is forward deployed. Well, this is forward deployed. So yeah, you probably want the Mariners just for like soaking, because that's 45 points for 10 dudes. And I get the impression the reason the other one was brought was because it was cheap. Cheap men, or cheaper men comparatively, right? 60 points for 8, but this is 45 for 10. It's just they don't have the AT, so make sure you've always got a Paras or a Gurkha rifles, like you've got lots of AT options here with them. The Huey's really slow, so there's no point. If you want a heli guy, bring the Chinook, right? Yeah, so if you're going to keep those firing all game, you need more than 2 cards of supply. This is the strat now, because the 105s are actually good now, so you just spam them all out. Honestly, you might want to downvet them and bring 8. Because some of them are going to die, and you just spam them out and you sell the transports. And yeah, you don't even have to resupply, and once it runs out of bullets, whatever, you just wait for it to die or what have you. But yeah, it's because they get the extra range compared to other 105s, which basically costs the same. But that one's forward deployed, which is why it's 5 points more. But they get the extra range. Apparently this is like one of the best, at least when it was made. It's like one of the most widely exported guns, you know, artillery guns, at least in this caliber. There's this one and the American one, and this one is just apparently just better, it just fires further. So that's why it's like that. The reason the prices are the same is because they both just used to be shit, so nobody cared. So, I mean, what's the point in 2-vetting these? What are you getting out of that? 5% accuracy. 70 to 75%. Whoa. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a case of, like, you can save 2 AP. This thing's great at the start. Why have you 2-vetted your recon helo? What's the point? Like, just read what it says. Well, the accuracy gets better. The accuracy for the gun that it doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to, I don't need, just bring the VADs. You could even bring the Skyguard, because it can't be seeded, it's pretty funny. This is super good against infantry. Sorry I did it. Well, just don't do it then. Anyway, this thing kind of sucks. But in a team game, using any air kind of sucks, so... Like, what do you even do in a team game? Yeah, something like this. I can't remember if this can actually fire from the max range. I think it used to be bugged out, so it didn't actually do it. But yeah, our 2 AP, I don't know, maybe you could come back and just put these in, but... Yeah, it's, or you could get the planes. So you could get this in case there are tanks on you. Or you can get the rocket one, because it'll be sort of useful at the start, and it tanks for the HE. In a 1v1, it's a different calculation. Or you could get the AT one and just leave it at max range. Because like this is just not going to do anything for you. I appreciate it's good to have a bomber, but... Like you get this for like just very cheap. In 1v1, this is an amazing plane. Because it reloads so fast. But in 3v3, there's going to be mega AA everywhere, although your opponents have decided to draft the dumbest draft known to man. So, yeah, I'm disheartened from that. Why? I don't understand that. I'm going to 2-vet my recon helo. Just read what it says. I should be nicer, really. If I'm horrible to you, you'll learn faster, so... Yeah. These should be at 1-vet. All these infantry, not the ATGM teams, should be at 1-vet. Honestly, the ALF ones, since the RT rework, you want to have them down-vetted now because they're gonna die. And and in a team game, right? But at that point, you definitely want more than 2 cards of supply. So you could swap out the AMX-10 PC for another card of supply. I mean, it's a team game. The Gazelle Cannon should be at 2 vet for the opener. Second Panzergren. Where do I even start? I think, honestly, you just shouldn't be able to make a deck. Just save these people from themselves. The whole point of second Panzergren, right? Why are the tanks at no vet? You're supposed to get the Leopard 1s for the start of the game, right? At least 2 cards of Leopard 1s for the start of the game. You need a third card of supply. The Sultan, right? 50 points for 3, 2 AP. It's a pub lobby, you don't need 2 forward deployed CVs. Saved 1 AP immediately. Now you've got 6, 8 CVs, so you can just get rid of both of these. And then that should be at 1 vet in the Fox. That should be at 1 vet in the Fox. Yeah. So you need more Marder 1A3s. That's sort of the whole point. Don't be spamming planes in it. That's just a waste of time. You can bring these if you want. You want the Tornado IDS cluster. It's really good. Why are they vetted? Get a second card of Eyehawks to help your retarded teammates. Or you can just leave them to die. It's your choice. This goes with your tanks, right? I don't really agree with this, but whatever. I think you'd be much better off bringing this one. And then you get the Leopard 1A5s, right? And these are at 1 vet now, and you get the Jaguar 1 for long range shooty with the Hot 1. So you've only got 1 card of ATGMs here. And then their opponents, I don't know what would prompt somebody to go into a lobby and pick 3 airborne divs. Like, where do you even start with that? If this team wins, honestly, whoa. Let's watch the game. Right, so with that out of the way, yeah, 3 airborne divs. I mean, obviously 336 technically marine, right? But it's like slightly heavier than an airborne div. So this is a terrible draft. I get the impression that these 3 know each other because they all seem like Chinese names, like CN, right? Was who. This one I'm a little bit less clear on, but but yeah, that's a terrible draft. Absolutely bloody awful. Typically, like, you want a div that's strong at the start, and then you know, the other div should sort of cover it in some way. So Blue's draft is actually much better, even though the way they built their decks makes me want to rethink my life and stop selling death sticks. The draft is good because you've got second Panzergren with the Eyehawks, MNAD for the opener, and 5E for kind of a mid-game division with nice arty and stuff. So that's a good draft. The red one is going to be, we're going to forward deployed and then we're going to sit there and hope for the best. So we'll see how that goes for them. In terms of the map, yeah, it's basically people just play it lane brain, right? One guy goes here, one guy goes here, one guy goes here. The map is red side favored incredibly because they actually get to these, like here, for example, they get there first. And then blue basically just can't really get in here anymore, at least not down this road. And you can shoot across into here, so it's a very red side favored map. The 3v3, or I think this is technically a 2v2 map. The 1v1 this doesn't matter so much because there's no zone here, so it's a lot more even, the 1v1 cut. I actually enjoy the map. Some people don't like it, but, you know, that's your choice. I played 2 ways for like 2 years, so, you know, you get kind of bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Vertigo is still in the ranked map pool. I just don't know how can I reach these kids? Anyway, these guys have decided, so the Honker goes mega fast, right? And he should have had, I can't remember if, yeah, he should have, basically they should have an SPG-9 down every road just to snipe the enemy forward deployments, but they're not doing that. Instead, we've got Mong out forever on the left with the Marines. So yeah, the 2,800 meter range ATGMs can reach across here, so I guess that makes sense. And then we've got Wuzhu in the middle with Donkey Kong, so he's really going to struggle against 5e. And then on the right, we got 76Y in the town. So given what they've picked, that's probably the best way of doing it, although the Marine guys could be in mid. And then the Donkey Kong could be on the left because he can play more in the forests with the coffin launchers and so on. Whereas mid, the coffin launchers aren't really going to do too much for him. Or he could play on the right with the coffin launchers and then put 76Y here because the BMD3s with the Conquerors M's can cover this, and then Spets Gripper. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's how I'd do it. 76Y on the left. Donkey Kong in the town so it can use the coffin launchers on all the buildings. And Marines in mid because the 2,800 meter range ATGMs are going to be the best thing for fighting here. Either way, it's a bad draft. And the way they've opened is dumb as well. You want the... So you basically just want like a... Because the Honkers will get there before any of the other forward deployment because it's special forces, so it goes at 120 at 2 vet. 3 vet is 130, whereas this, it goes at 75, so what's going to get there first? You want an SPG-9 down every road, like you definitely want to be sending one down here. You put forward deploy... You put, AA behind them, forward deployed AA behind them, and you should snipe some stuff on the road. Switching to their opponent, so the MNAD player has the best forward deployment here because he gets the LSV Milan, which goes at 130 kilometers an hour. And so that's really good at the start of the game, so naturally he hasn't bought any. So, yeah, you'd want basically, because you get 3 of those, right? So one should be zooming down here, right, getting to about there and shooting everybody as they come down. One could get to about here and shoot them as they come down this road. And then you'd want one, like, there, or something like that. Or maybe even, like, up to here, and it'll shoot them coming down that road, right? The strongest at the start of the game, so he hasn't brought any. Instead, I can only assume he's bought loads of planes, because I don't really see where all his units are. And then you'd want the 2nd Panzergren player in the middle, because he gets the Eyehawks, and the Eyehawks can cover both sides. So naturally, they'd put him on the right, so left is going to get air spammed. Unless he gives him an Eyehawk, but don't really see that. Got some 2 vet Bopars. And yeah, in mid we've got the 5e player. Is this on reduced income or something? Like, where are all the units? Where are all the units? So, yeah. Stunning and brave deployment. So something like this, why would you put the sniper there? The reason you're putting the Milan there is to cover this road. Okay, but you can do that with something cheaper, like the Scorpion, right? Instead, you're spending 90, plus another 55 points. So, like, 1/10 of your deployment guarding a road that actually nobody's coming down. Obviously, you weren't to know that, but, you just put one scimitar there or something, and then if there's nobody there, you can move it up and just keep moving it up until you get there, and then you can shoot the back stuff, So you got to think about the deployment. I mean, it just comes from experience, I guess. I played the game a lot, so I don't want to be too much of an elitist prick, but it's like, hello, stop eating glue. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest level is worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Otherwise, just sit back and enjoy the ride, right? You can wishlist my game on Steam. There you go, they did open some planes, so I guess that makes sense. He's got evac Winchester on. So you need to get into your options, and where it says unarmed vehicles, you need to have it a fire at will, right? And where it says evac Winchester, you need to have that on off. Because I'm watching a replay, it's given me the stats of the guy who sent me the replay. So these aren't my settings, but yes, where it says rules of engagement ground missiles, it should be on all units. And where it says automatic Winchester out of ammo evac, you need to have that on no, right? And then, you know, I mean, there's a lot of other things here I personally would change, but those are the two most egregious ones. So, because, yeah, what would have happened there if it wasn't on automatic Winchester was you could have just right-clicked it with the plane, and he would have stayed behind it. He was out of missiles, but he still had the guns, and he would have kept shooting it, and it would have died. So you lost out on that kill because of your settings. And this thing with the don't shoot unarmed transports, well, the way they've programmed it is wrong. So some of the so-called unarmed transports have guns on them, and so they just shoot you and you don't shoot back. It's really quite absurd. So we're gonna smoke here? No. So yeah, the Gurkha rifles get in. You really would expect the 76Y player to win here because he's got the grenade launchers, right? And MNAD doesn't, but that's just sort of the MNAD dealio. The main reason why people are playing it at the moment is since the RT change. In team games, you can just buy all the light howitzers and just put half of them on counter battery and the other half on automatic fire, and they'll just sit there shooting the whole game. You'll get a load of kills. So, yeah, that's probably something that needs to go up in price because it reflects the old paradigm. So these got a big buff. The light support weapon went from a PKM to an RPK 72 or 74, and there's two of them. And so that's it can fire on the move. So it goes back to this point about, you know, it's a close range squad. It wants to throw the satchels at people, so it wants to run up to those Gurkhas and shoot them. Anyway, it looks like it's not going so well for Red. And obviously the longer the game goes on, the worse it's going to be going for Red, because they have 3 airborne divs. And there's that air bully we were telling you about. We got the 0 AA strat. If we're looking at total AA numbers across the board here, and apart from the one they've just purchased, there are literally 0. 0 AA. I don't see any stingers, any minstrels, whatever. Yeah, the 0 AA strat. So yeah, just sit there and get hit by planes for 40 minutes. Woo! Not even a couple of minstrels in the town. No. No, we need more infantry to replace the infantry that died to the planes. What do they call it? Like first order thinking? But why did they die to the planes? No, no, no. I need more infantry. My infantry died to the planes. I was really surprised that didn't kill that, but there it is. So yes, blue is actually winning here, because so in a long-range engagement, the Gurkha rifles will beat the Spetsgrupper, because the whole point of the Spetsgrupper is they've got the satchels for the close-range engagement, and they've got, we're going to smoke here. Nah, that's why we bring them at no vet, because they're just going to die. Yeah. The submachine guns on the Spetsgrupper have like 500 meters range anyway, so it will have just been engaging with the 2 machine guns. So the Gurkhas are going to win because all their guys can shoot at max range, so it's obviously going to go that way. You don't want to use a MiG-31 to try and snipe a bow power, because there should be AA back here. I appreciate that there's 1 Roland 2 trying to cover this whole sector. But yeah, you need those dark fires, but he's brought everything at 2 vet. Like, he just doesn't have enough stuff. So he's only got 2 dark fires, for example, so if the game goes late, he's actually just going to run out of stuff. So that's something. But yeah, it looks like it's going pretty well for blue on all fronts. And given that the enemy is 3 airborne divs, right, the marine div, it's got a lot in common with an airborne div. It's like 2nd UK or something, sort of, but with a bit more airborne, so it's like slightly heavier than an airborne div. So its power spike is slightly later, right? It can hold its own slightly more in the late game. It's one of my favourite divs, actually, the new marine div, but it just loses to mech slop. And that's the most common way to play the game. So yeah, we got the classic, let's just buy loads of planes, and our opponents are really, really, really thinking hard. So you don't want to bring the napalm one because it sucks, but I mean, I guess he's going to get them anyway because there's all these guys shooting them as they're moving from the napalm. So this should go on the bruiser. You know, the bruiser that's shooting you. No, I'm going to try and bomb the tank anyway. So yeah, we're going to buy some AA. Oh, there you go. Yeah, get some AA out. But yeah, typically, you know, there should be rolling 3s here now, and there should be Eyehawks. Like, the second Panzer player should have an Eyehawk here, an Eyehawk here, and an Eyehawk here. The point is to help your team, but there's not a whole lot of that going on. I mean, over there has a couple units over there. Oh. Is this on the ground? It is. He got spooked, I guess. So what are the purchases? I mean, he just kept buying planes, right? He needs to just buy ground stuff and AA. So this is looking pretty good for blue, for the MNAD player. But like, look at the composition. There should be more ATGMs in here, and there should be a couple minstrels. I suppose the ATGMs are showing up, and there should be some recon. Do you notice something? The only recon is this sniper over here not doing anything. But at least he's clocked that, oh, I'm getting hit by bombers over and over, I should buy some AA. But it's not enough, really. You would need the minstrels as well, pushed up. Because, yeah, he is in danger of just losing this zone, because they're just bombing the guys at the front and then driving back in, so... And he's not got any recon, so, you know, he can't... Like, this should be there, really, and it would shoot this before it gets in, but... You would need recon as well, so you can see. In the meantime, second Panzergren player just doesn't have enough units here. The no-vet tanks are existent, right? He's putting CVs next to them, though, so that's something, getting those vets up. And this is where having the card of Milan 1s comes in handy as well, because they, you know, you would only need a Milan 1 to actually kill everything in this division. Well, does this have 4 armor? No, it's 3. So, yeah, Milan 1s would kill everything in 76Y in one shot. So you don't actually need the Milan 2. And so that's why you get the Milan 1s for 1v1, because you don't know what you're coming up against. But also just the idea that, you know, you would have a Milan 2 and a couple Milan 1s as well, and then you treat them more like dragons or metis. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's not like a super high value item, it's just there to provide weight of fire into the guys running at you. You just get more ATGMs on them, stuff like that. He's not sending this back though, so the grenade launchers are going to kill it pretty fast. And look at that, red just gets back in, and it comes down to the blue's army composition, also the fact that, you know, half his units aren't doing anything, but at least he's bought the AA now. Now, he shouldn't have sold the transports on these, because you need to move them after they shoot. Like, the drone sees them now, so they need to move or they're going to get artied. So yes, on the rest of the map, we've got Mega Tank Man. Needs to get some Pioneers in here. They changed shock, by the way, so it's like 350 meters range now, as opposed to 150, which is a good change. So as soon as you get in a forest fight, right, a deep forest fight, as soon as you see him, the shock has kicked in, you're doing like 10% more damage or something. Quite forgotten what it does. Yeah, so it's like minus 10% reload speed, but it says deal more damage, but attacking faster makes you deal more damage. There you go, right? Problem solved. Immediately you've paid for these, because that costs 230 and these cost 200. So now you move them. You gotta move them, because a smart opponent would be gradding these and no-knitting these. So you have to move them after they shoot. Just get in the habit of always doing it, as opposed to, oh, there's seed. You know, just always do it after it shoots. Do the same with Milans. It's a lot of it's practice, right? I mean, you know, it can be like... And I try to say this as much as possible. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, yes, I'm better at Warno than most people, but that's because I've played the game more than most people, right? And so, is it a good use of your time to invest so much time in Warno? Probably not. There's probably things you'd rather be doing, and I don't hold it against you. So I try and maintain a positive attitude, but it's hard, you know. Anyway, you need to move these, and these should be shooting those. So yeah, you can move them a bit closer, right? Because, like, I don't know if one of them shot, or maybe they would have got 2 shots off if they were a bit closer. And the Schmel sees all, and, you know, the minstrels, I guess, just aren't close enough to kill it. So he's just getting the crap beaten out of him by these planes, but, you know, he should kill this one because it's going really deep. Yeah. And so that was worth it as well, even if it killed this, which I guess is going to route into the fire or whatever. They like doing that. This is great. Like, the trades are incredible. You're just constantly killing these planes. It's hard to... Because, like, let's say you're getting hit by a bomber, and even if you kill the bomber, you lose, like, 2 of your units. You're like, oh no. Oh, there you go. He's actually brought the... Yeah, you see the shot traits active there. Oh, you don't want to be doing this, because that'll just die in 1 hit. So what's the point? What have you accomplished there? Like, you fired a couple rounds of the MG. Well, it's not worth losing 40 points worth of units on, but... So, Grad, still not going on the AA, right? You gotta hit the AA. It's not moving. Maybe he was expecting it to be moving, but the drone could see it. Because the drones can't be hit by radar AA because they're too small, even though they're 1980s drones, which are flipping massive, so... It's just dumb. People said, like, the reason why is because, So, hand-flan Patron I don't usually go for, but... I mean, it's doing its bit here in lowering the cohesion. If it got more ammo, it might be worth it, but with 4 rounds, it's not really worth it. Maybe they'll change that, who knows. So, you're seeing the issue that Red has, in that they just don't have the range, they don't have the scaling. The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be for them. I guess he couldn't see anything. I mean, what... Blue's really doing their best to throw the game, though, so... Wait, where are the Eyehawks? Oh, there's one. Yes, I thought this would happen. He's covered himself, and nobody else. Team game moment. So there you go. Whoops, sorry over there. The guys who are actually getting bombed a lot. The Eyehawks are just for me. I need your Patriot battery to defend Israel. I'm sorry, South Korea. I need your Patriot battery. What? So, yeah, he could have saved... he probably assumed that this was cover. It isn't. That building was never there. It starts destroyed, so you'd hide it behind this one. Sometimes you gotta use that LOS tool, but once again, it just comes down to practice. I've made that mistake before. That's how I know. So it's good to learn, right? To play and to learn. Because if you were playing perfectly, it'd probably be quite boring, actually, because there'd be nothing to learn. Although, you know, winning's fun. So here we go, yeah, jump in, shoot it, jump out, jump in, shoot it, jump out. And once again, that's worth it, but... Unless you train yourself to think that way, you'll be like, I lost 1 unit, he loses 1 unit. But no, his actually costs 4 times more. And it feels like you've lost momentum on the front line, because his just shows up, kills the thing, and, you know, your thing took ages to get there if it was a ground unit. Helicopter's slightly different. But that's not what's happening. But, yeah, I mean, if these just moved up, they'd be able to engage that, right? And, I guess the ATGMs are coming now. He needs the ones with the range, so the Weasels, because of the extra range off the Milans, because the BMD-3 actually outranges you here. There you go! Something's happening. The Chud was wrong. Something does happen. And yeah, I see Red like slowly, you know, always contesting this basically because he can just dump the next round of crap in there, and basically the blue player would have to buy a bit of arty, and then he can, you know, arty the corner, and he can just hit these things when they start shooting him. But it seems his current plan is to just drive into them over and over and over again with his no vet tanks, which immediately get suppressed and then die. So he saw this one die, and he's like, don't worry, this time it's going to work for sure. Oh, I've been hit again. I can't shoot back because of the range. Oh, time to reverse. I think it might be too late for him. If this one hits, which it should do, and I think he's going to get away. So there you go. The lesson hasn't been learned. So it actually would have been better for him if he lost this tank, because then he would learn. Right, well, maybe that's not such a good idea. Anyway, the dark fire's right, he didn't move them. Unload them. You gotta unload them here. You gotta unload them here. Don't leave them in the vehicles, because if the vehicle dies, everybody inside dies. Did you see how this one survived? Yeah. So, you don't need me to tell you that that's bad. You also don't need me to tell you that unloading all the artillery in the same spot is a really bad idea, because one grad strike will wipe them all. You need to spread out, generally. As a general rule. So blue buying more planes into MiG-31s, so they can lose them. Still only one Eyehawk on the map. And there you go. Yeah, like that was just there shooting at him, and that was kind of dumb. Should have been, you know, hidden and so on. He probably just wasn't looking. So yeah, blue needs another CV. Oh, I see what's happening here. So the YTNC guy is losing his zone, which is a +2, and has decided to come over here. What he could be doing is bringing an Eyehawk, but... So I foresee blue losing this zone now, because this is like 3 minutes of income. Right? Roughly. And... What? You've got something here. How are they getting down here? So yeah, blue was about to win, thus saving us from this excruciating pain. But they were like, nah, let's throw. So now we've got a CV right outside the zone. A dark fire with no bullets, which isn't moving even after the last one got twatted. No Eyehawk. And yeah, blue's definitely losing this because he just didn't put anybody there. Like, it's really not complicated. I've got another minute's income spent on not frontline units, and another minute's income spent on one CV tank. So it obviously depends on red, right? But he should be able to take this no problem. Once those infantry show up, he can just run in, or he can just grad it again, which I assume that's what he's been doing. So yeah, we like to sit just outside the zone on the Hippie YouTube channel. Really make it as fair as possible. There goes that dark fire. I mean, it was a seed, but they were RTing it as well. You gotta move them. You gotta keep them switched off as well. If you know the enemy's got seed, you actually leave them switched off, and then you switch them on when they come over. So you drag box, so you just select them all, and then you do Control 1. And then when you hit 1, it'll select them all, and then you press H. H is for hold fire, right? By default. You can change it if you want. At least this is in the zone now that it's not needed, because the Sultan's in here. Although the Sultan's going to have to go back, because the WD-40 Jeep's coming in. So, now that it's his problem, is he going to put some Eyehawks here, or... I wonder if he'll learn his lesson, or... Is this going to move? Nah, why bother? Why bother? That's exciting. Actually, not bad coordination there, right? It's two players dove with their fighters. And they didn't get it, though, which is a real big shame. But yeah, the CVs are all getting sniped. and he's like, hey, you got a CV here, you can drive it in. And he's like, I drove my tank forward, it got sniped, and now I'm rage quitting. So, you know, play team games, win team prizes. And so now this zone's dead, because the AI is just going to move all the guys out of it. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, I mean the AI might buy some Eyehawks now, but look, the AI has decided that it wants to defend Bravo, so everybody's going back to Bravo. That's what's happening now. Even though they were in alpha. So like if the AI is in from the start of the game, honestly it plays better than the average player. And if you don't believe me, have you been watching this game? But if the AI comes in halfway through, it doesn't seem to understand the situation that it's in. And so it just kind of picks a zone and goes for it. So it doesn't understand that actually it was already in alpha and that's the one it should be fighting for. It's just like, there are no units in Bravo. Well, I don't know what decision making it uses. But yeah, so it'll go back to Bravo and then it'll slowly push from Bravo back into alpha, or it'll try to. Which is obviously a bit, you know, dumb, but... So he got the seed one, he lost the Eyehawk for it. So we're gonna get some CVs up. We are. I'm really surprised these haven't been hit yet. And look, the AI is buying an Eyehawk. Although the orders it gives are obviously, you know, once it gets there, it'll give it another one. Yeah, so you don't really know where it's gonna end up because it's doing it in stages, I suppose. So yeah, +3 to red because, well, they just got this for free. But yeah, this is why I don't play that many team games. It's either laughably easy because you know, it's me and my mates versus a bunch of people who just got the game. Or it's like, here's your designated retard. Oh, wonderful. How retarded will he be today? What will he do? You know, how much will I have to carry? And neither situation's fun. So we got a Leopard 2 just driving into an anti-tank squad there. Oh, he's moving the Vig? No, he's just got it right-clicked, so they're just running after it. And now they're going back in there. So these should obviously now shoot the javelins. AI with the plane, right? Keeping it at max range. Right? AI best player in this game, and it's medium AI that it gives it if you resign. In Red Dragon, it gives the next player the units, like whichever player has the highest score, or it might be whichever player's... Okay, dove, and now it's dead. It's either whichever player has the highest score, or whichever player has the... That was very fortunate. I suppose there are 4 many vetted javelins here, like they're all at 2 or 3 vet because of the CVs and so on. And but you need 3 hits. I don't know, maybe it's not actually that... Oh yeah, because it's not fire and forget. So when it's that close to you, the accuracy is actually really, really, really high. So yeah, +2 to red. And it says, you know, in 20 minutes they'll get 1,700 points. So in 15 minutes they'll get what? You know, 1,400 or something, 1,200, something like that. So I think they'll just about win if they hold on to what they have. And they sniped another CV because their opponents are incapable of hiding them behind buildings. They just like to chill out in the open and get shot. Because, like, you know this isn't cover, right? Just put it behind that, right? You got to keep moving it, though, because the Schmel can see you, so... At least the AI is getting some replacement CVs. So yeah, as you can see, the AI has very much secured this location. And now it's moving up. But the point is that it just gave up its position to do that. So it is a little frustrating. one of the many reasons I don't like Broken Arrow as well is the forced 5v5, no 1v1 mode. If they gave it a 1v1 mode where you just get like double the income, I'd probably play it. I'd probably still prefer Warno, but... Oh, I thought I was going for the CV. Oh, it is. It's going for the other CV. He put two CVs in the same building, and now they're both dead. Truly inspirational decision-making there. It might have been two different players, but even so... Are we going to smoke here? Nah. Why bother? There's been a problem with these, like, not dropping their bombs and stuff, so... Yeah. It's, I mean, look, the AI. This is the AI. It's just taken a hotel by fast moving down the road until everything in front of it was dead. So, don't knock the AI. It's the best player here by quite some margin. I mean, it is driving into an anti-tank group again, but at least it's using its units. So that's a big part of what at the lower levels, right? You'll notice there's just a bunch of guys always just sat around not doing anything, right? And that's always the case because it's hard to control lots of units, and so you know that's a skill that takes a lot of time to develop. Like it's a really great way to improve is to just, you know, spend your points on units and then make sure you use those units, and that's where blobbing tends to happen just because, and you know, high level players blob as well because it allows you to very quickly kill a unit or whatever before they can react, but the idea behind blobbing is, look, if you're not good at controlling units, well then just bunch them all up and then you only have to give one order on 5 Gurkha rifles. The other thing newer players tend to do is just buy 5 of one thing and then buy 5 of the next thing. We've definitely been seeing that from the MNAD player this game. Like we saw like 4 scimitars, 4 Gurkha rifles, 4 javelins, 4 arty pieces. You gotta get out of that habit because... like, are we gonna put that behind something, or... Nah. This is a pretty decent seed and EW work from these guys. Like, they've got multiple seeds. I get the impression this is a stack. Because the chances of 3 people joining a lobby and all picking 3 airborne divs is quite low, statistically speaking, so I think they did it on purpose. It's obviously a dumb thing to do on purpose, because you've got no scaling and now you're just losing to an AI. But the here we go, the Gurkhas have finally woken up. And yeah, those guys that were here, and they all died because he kept them in the transports and so on. So yeah, you got to get out of the habit of just buying a bunch of things at once. Like, you see the opponents are doing it as well. Here's more Spetsgrupper, here's more Usilani. It's better than not spending your points, but it's not the optimum play. So having units and using those units is always going to be better than not having units and not using those units. And then it comes down to the execution, like which units are you buying? Where are you sending them? And that's why I find RTS is quite addicting. That's why I keep playing Warno, even though I've got like 3,000 hours in this game. There's still, every single game, I make dozens upon dozens of mistakes. And that will always be the case, because because there's just so much going on. It's very hard to not make those mistakes. And that's what makes it fun, really, because like shooters I get bored of quite quickly, because, you know, you just... run, shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot. Once you've seen every map in the game, and once you've used every weapon, on most of them, right? A lot of them tend to be stat clones. It's like, this isn't worth it, you see, right? So he's killed 2 infantry, but, you know, this is a 245 point plane. It'd be much better off using RT against that. Also, I've noticed, like, no counter batterying. This is the patch with the pack-up times and everything. There's like no counter battery in the whole game, just 4 light howitzers in one spot there. So, the AI is killing his teammates' units. And yeah, so you know, 5 Gurkha rifles here. It's not the optimum play. There should be a bunch of MG teams, which he didn't bring, and a bunch of Milan 1s and 2s, and a couple Gurkha rifles. But this beats nothing. So credit where credit's due. Like, that was a good bombing run because there's no AA here. And this is out of ammo, but if it had ammo... Well, I suppose he's got the triple Mirage to help out. So, yeah, it's very Jova for red, but... chances are they'll just keep playing like salty bastards because they don't want to lose a 2v3. Oh, he auto-evac. So now they're going to come round here and die. He should have sent them this way. Because a lot... Well, you'd really expect some deaths there, but there you go. So presumably this is about to get LGBT'd. Although, he's not actually given this an order. There's the order. Okay, now it's gone. Yeah, 3 minutes. But yeah, honestly, it just comes down to the draft. Triple airborne, it can work if you're like super high level players and you've got like a really good strat worked out where you double push one lane and just take that and then double push the next lane and take that. But in general, you want one light div, one heavy div. So I play in the 2v2 tournaments a lot, and you know, we always do pretty well. We don't always win, but I tend to finish, you know, top 3, top 4. And we always do one light div, one heavy div. So I'm always on the light div, and Fence is always on the heavy div. Or if Fence can't make it or whatever, I play with Tiberius, and he's on the heavy div. So, because yeah, there's no scaling here. Like, you're trying to fight Leopard 2s with T-55s. I appreciate that they've got the range because of the ATGM, but if you're playing against somebody good, which admittedly you're not, you know, they can just like smoke and dive through it and use the LOS or get some smoke mortars going, right? And so that becomes less of a problem. I appreciate that's not present in this case because we've just got an AI leaving the zone, thus subjecting us to another 6 minutes of this madness. Because, yeah, the point is, right, so we're all gonna go airborne and we're all gonna buy our planes, right, but, so anti-air counters air, and so if you overinvest in anti-air, sorry, if you overinvest in air, then the anti-air will just counter the whole strat, as opposed to part of the strat. Do you see what I mean? So, over-specialization can be a mistake. I mean, you can win if you've got 2 mega good players on airborne, or, you know, 3 mega good players on airborne, and they all rush a zone, but that's not what happened. They just did lane brain, lane brain, lane brain. And they only won on this lane because this guy rage quit after he didn't buy his Eyehawk, drove his tank into the enemy and died. Which, it was obviously his fault, but what can I say? So yeah, like, one Lynx Hellam here can just kill all this. BMD3s can't really push. I mean, I appreciate that these aren't smoking, so they're going to die, and there's no ATGMs here, because, you know, why bother? The CV needed to cap this zone that was already capped. AI moment. We need an Eyehawk in the base. AI moment. We need to buy ALF ones and not use them. That's a player. So yeah, the game's pretty much over. There's really nothing that can be done. So I'm going to speed up a bit because, I mean, they're just dragging it out. Like, there's no way they can get the points they need in the last 5 minutes. Too proud to admit defeat, I suppose. So these are going to fast move down here, and you'd hope they get caught in a crossfire and just blatted by the ATGMs. I mean, they're literally just driving into the AT, so the one back here died as well. Yeah. So, you know, if you're like, I'm not good enough for multiplayer, well, the average player isn't some mega APM 3,000 hours sweat. You just sort of get that idea from my videos, I guess, because I'm a 3,000 hours mega APM sweat. So. But I did ask people what they thought about these videos, these casts, and the reception was, it was like 10% said they didn't care, and then 2/3 of people said that they were good. They wanted to keep it going. So I always thought, like, nobody wants to watch this because it's like, you know that episode of South Park where Cartman comes in and he's like, cripple fight, and then everybody watches the cripples beating each other up. But I suppose it is in that episode, everybody wanted to watch the cripple fight, so it makes a lot of sense why it would be popular. But yeah, so the AI has decided to run away into the open field, but I mean, there's really nothing can be done here. I mean, look, he's going to get back in. Wow. So yeah, lots to learn. Lots to learn. 99 games, 122 games, 400 games, 166 games, 74 games, 66 games. So, you know, there's space, right? Don't be like, oh, I'm going to get beaten up. I mean, sometimes you are. But this was a fairly evenly matched thing, right? Where they've all just got the game. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Somebody pays to have you publicly humiliated into 1,000 to 2,000 people online, right? What's the worst that could happen? Anyway, have a lovely day.